efficient as I possibly can here, because I think we can get this done today, honestly.
All right, we're good.
We're on.
You already have one?
You're
No,
on.
I've got one right here. I'll take it.
There you go.
Okay, so taking into consideration our prior conversation and the district's proposal to utilize formula approach, we had a lot of conversation both about what is required by statute in the recognition bonus money and how are we to best serve the members of both bargaining units. And so we concluded that we have very, very, very little interest whatsoever in introducing yet another performance pay scheme of any type. And for that reason, you'll see that our proposal does not differentiate between an effective rating or a highly effective rating for these bonus dollars. We do have, in deference to concern that was raised previously, that our instructional staff, the classroom teachers, and those who are within the instructional bargaining unit bear the greater weight with regards to providing lesson plans, curriculum expertise. They are tied much more closely to the school grade. We did see that there was an opportunity to make sure that what we have on the table represents the greater weight of that responsibility. And so we are still recommending distribution in shares to qualifying instructional personnel as follows. So instructional personnel within the instructional bargaining unit, I would include all of our educators, certificated employees. They would receive a single share. And instructional personnel within the classified support bargaining unit would receive 0.75 share. We didn't think it was.
Hang on a second before we go any further, and it's not necessarily about the counter. I got clarification, employees that are new to the district were not being included in that. Those were the employees, they were eligible for the recruitment bonus. So, and we will have some that will get the recruitment bonus. And in theory, they would get the recruitment bonus and this as well. And we all know the recruitment bonus is extremely sizable. So they won't be included in this. It would just be those who were here last year that receive a rating.
So the district is suggesting that the effective or highly effective overall rating for the 18-19 summative evaluation must be a Citrus County summative evaluation. Don't we have an overwhelming majority of new hires though who will not qualify for the recruitment?
I'm not 100% positive on that. I mean, there were probably quite a few that, I'd say probably about a third, probably almost half of them, after they spoke to them at the new teacher firm, 40-45% of them did submit applications. So I don't know if just because they submitted an application does not mean they qualify for it, but I think many of them thought, you submit an application, and if I can get it, I can get it. So that's being sorted through as we speak.
But the state's not saying that you have to do that. This is a Citrus County
As far as I can
decision.
understand, yes.
Okay, do you have anything else about this then?
No, I'll go back to speak to my team about this one. I do have one question you talked about from the out of county. They would have to, I mean, we would have to have.
Assistant evaluator.
Yeah, I mean, that would, and I don't know how long that would take. I mean, we couldn't say, okay, next week you have to have this done. So there's a time factor that would have to be included in that, which would make this a much longer process, because then we wouldn't know how many people, whether this person got. So there's that to be considered as well.
Because we don't know when other districts would be finalizing their
Right.
evaluation.
And I will say this, because it's gonna go into what I have to speak about next. Vicky's very aware of this. As far as how our timeline goes for our checks that come out in December, we usually have 3 checks in December. One will come out the 13th, one will come out the last day that we work, and in between is a retro check for any monies that are negotiated in between. In order for us to get the salary increases that we negotiate, not just the step, but the salary increases that we negotiate, that has to go to the school board on November 12th. That's the last school board meeting before the payrolls run in December.
So make it happen by December.
Yes, so I know we're at the beginning of October, but I want, that sneaks up on us, it has before on us once or twice, but you're
Yeah,
right.
there has been exceptions
I know,
where they
but,
have.
yeah, but, you know, they have to meet the week of Thanksgiving, but still what happens is payroll then has to run everything through.
Well, if
by
we
the
settled
third.
on an additional 5% for every employee in both bargaining units right now, you could get on it.
Well,
It'd be done.
No,
Oh,
no,
yes.
we did settle on the board match, and I think, I mean, Kayla can attest to this. If there's an issue, I don't want there to be an issue on any other monies, but if nothing else, I would like to take that to the board, to be approved, but that has to be ratified by your membership, and I know that takes some time. So I just want to talk about it now, in our first meeting in October, so that way we can, I'll be aware on that, okay, because it's already come across me, I've got some reminders when I have to submit things to the board, so I wanted to bring that up to you all today.
A little dry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. At least a little decorated.
I know, I appreciate that,
I'm sorry, I forgot.
So, we're gonna need to break and talk about this. Before we do that, there is, one more thing, followed by proposal, that, I wanna bring forward. And I can give you a copy of this if you want. Last week, we met with, the other bargaining group, the Teamsters. We settled with them. We have tentative agreement on the board match and also on, salary increases, beyond the step increases. So, I have a proposal here, since we have settled with Teamsters, that's out in the open. So I'm gonna submit the proposal.
Okay, but my proposal was first, 5%. You heard that, right?
Okay.
Everybody heard
You're
that?
more than welcome. And you can write counter on here if you would like. Lynn, do you have copies? No?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say, I always pass it that way, I didn't think you had. All right, so, our proposal, and you should be getting this in just a minute. In addition to the step increase, it took effect on July 1st, 2019. On steps 1 through 18 for our classified employees, an increase of 0.75% retroactive to July 1st, 2019. Those employees on step 19 will receive an increase of 1% retroactive to July 1st, 2019. Professional technical, it'd be those on steps 1 through 16, will receive a 0.75% increase retroactive to July 1st. And those on step 17 will receive an increase of 1% retroactive to July 1st, 2019. And as I said, this is what we settled with Teamsters, this exact amount. Like I said, that was done last week. Just want to be honest with you about that one.
The 0.75% is applied to the start or includes the step?
So the step's already been there, so this is on top of whatever the step is. So, which you might want to see that, here's a copy of that. Val, here's a copy of the TA we have with them.
Remember now, we're not Teamsters.
No, Again, but like I said, since
Just
it's
saying, I'm just putting that out there.
Sorry.
She hasn't signed it. She's leaving. But it's public, so I just wanted to tell you guys what it is, and that's why. Oh, I know. They had the same comment as well. I said, I know, I just wanna, because I told them about the board match increase. And I said, be honest with you, with you, the groups agreed to this, and I know you weren't the other group, but just wanted to tell you where we were with them.
So, I don't want to dive too deep into this just yet. A more immediate concern for us, I think, is making sure that the best and brightest is settled.
I just wanted to present that to you.
But I'm just trying to reconcile, and maybe you can enlighten me a little bit, settling for a fraction of a % increase at a time when the base student allocation received a $75 bump, and we appear to be expecting 3% or so increase thereabouts in
I
revenues.
can tell you now, we are looking at our budget and looking at ways to cut around $4 million from our budget now. We have a director of secondary education who is not in that role now. He's filling a principal position, so I mean, we have an admin position that we are not gonna fill this year at all. So I mean, we're taking steps to try to reduce our costs on our salaries, and as most of you in here know, in education, a vast majority of our cost is our people. That's where our investment is in our people.
How much did you say you wanted to cut?
I'm sorry?
How much were you saying you guys are cutting?
Oh, they're trying to cut just over 4 million. I don't have the exact number off the top of my head.
The general fund reserve not grow by a significant amount over the past year?
Not to my knowledge, I'd have to check with finance and see exactly the amount that it grew by.
Okay, so I appreciate you bringing
Mhm.
the information about the Teamsters settlement, and certainly the proposal is a starting point. It's not too far from 0.75 to 5%, Steve. It's not too
I hear
far.
what you're saying, but again,
Not too far.
if we didn't start talking about this now, I didn't want us to run into a time crunch at the end. That's the reason why I brought up about the date.
I understand.
I know it's early October, but things start happening and people can't get together. We run into that problem, so that's why I brought up the.
Can I ask you why you didn't put anything then, a proposal for the teachers as well? I'm just curious, not that I'm asking for it.
Teachers did get a market adjustment of
But for,
$1,200.
for.
If you'd like to have, if you, in your calendar, if you'd like to include that, I know that we do have teachers that are, all of our teachers should be receiving the bonus from the state, at least the recognition bonus. I know we have some that are receiving others.
Okay, I was just curious. Thank you.
Mhm.
And the budget, this year, the board is already anticipating, in salaries alone, an increase of 5.33%, I'm guessing, that based on the presentation that was done to the board.
Yeah, a lot of that would probably be the market adjustment.
Okay.
That's kind of, I don't know that number off the top of my head, but I know a large portion of that increase was the $1,200 market adjustment for teachers.
And steps, which are.
Yeah, and the steps were already factored in.
Okay, we will take another look. Like I said, we had requested some information that had just come in and been made available to us. We had hoped to have, something that we could present in the way of a proposal, but really it was more a matter of we wanted to be able to start the conversation. And, honestly, there are people in our ranks who, are frankly questioning why if there was an automatic adjustment made equivalency-wise for administrators, why a similar adjustment wasn't offered to the support staff. I didn't really have an answer to that question. I know that there was some explanation provided regarding the way administrator salaries were adjusted for this year to match up or marry with the market adjustment. And it was like
Each year, the market
$6
adjustment has been that, whatever the daily rate was for
Right.
teachers, administrators received the same daily rate increase. So if they work 216 days, so 216, that daily rate multiplied by 216. They work 251, it's multiplied by 251. It's the same procedure we've used for the other 2 years of the market adjustment.
Questions?
Yes.
Zach?
Couldn't support go ahead and get the same market adjustment, please?
And you could ask
The
for it, but I'm
$6
not sure, that there
Why
would be
not?
a, I don't think you'd probably like to counter to that. But definitely, if you feel like proposing it, we can go from there.
But that was the
That's-
same process that was used
Yes,
each year.
from the very beginning, the first year was, I think it was $1,000 the first year, then 1,200, right? So 1,000 divided by 196
Daily rate.
yeah, 5 something, I believe it was, and then the other was 6, I want to say it's 610, but it's been a couple of years.
600.
I've had to do it.
All right, so you're concerned with incorporating or allowing people who are new hires to rely on their 18-19 evaluation from, say, Marion County, is that it extends the timeline before funds can be made available?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what the reason why that was done, I just know that that's gonna be a factor
Okay.
if we did that, because this isn't, the old best and brightest where you have until this time to turn this date in. We can't move forward with the other people until we know how many people, have their highly effective. So that's a concern of mine. It's gonna slow down the process if we tell them they have until the end of October, November to turn it in. Just to go through and verify those would take quite a bit of time. And I know our employees who are eligible for this would like to receive this as quickly as possible. Our goal is always to try to get money to our employees before Christmas. That retro check's always a nice time for that to come out.
Okay, so why don't we think about the summative evaluation from outside the county, and we think about our proposal
Well,
for shares.
yeah, if you let us talk us for a few minutes, and we'll see what we can come up with on the counter.
Sounds good.
Okay? All right.
You guys want the cactus one or you want the plain one?